2012 and 2016. What does it take to win here in Australia?
A lot of courage. You got to have the mindset of play to win. That's kind of something that I've been speaking at length within our group, within our squad. Australia is a really tough place to play cricket, but it's also such a rewarding place to play if you get things right. You got to take your opportunities. I think that kind of ties in with general Test cricket around the world. But yeah, playing Test cricket in Australia is such a privilege, and yeah, you got to go beyond. You got to go beyond what you're used to, and yeah, you actually got to savor the moment. It's massive, and yeah, the legacy and history with South African cricket and Australian cricket is so rich, and yeah, we just another great talented group that can achieve something great in the future.
I was going to say, is it even tougher but when you start here at the Gabba and the record obviously that Australia has?
No, I must say we don't have any dirty laundry when it comes to playing at the Gabba because we haven't played here yet. So as a group we're pretty fresh and pretty unique to the surroundings. Yeah, the history here is obviously not in our favour, and that's okay. So yeah, like I say, we don't have any dirty laundry when it comes to playing here. We've got a young group and also an experienced group, and yeah, I think the fact that we haven't had any failures here yet, it might work in our favour. So yeah, we're looking forward to the opportunity. It's yeah, it's almost like a surreal moment for us. We've been here for 2 weeks and we've been salivating a little bit for this moment, and yeah, we're looking forward to get going. Yeah.
Have you seen the pitch and what do you make of it?
It looks like this grass I'm standing on at the moment. But in saying that, the green colour doesn't scare us. We know this is one of the wickets that if you get in, you can really capitalise. But we know from a bowling point of view, there's a length that you have to really hit, and you can get some rich rewards out of that. But no, the wicket does look a little bit friendly for our bowling unit, which is nice. But in saying that, the green colour doesn't really scare us. We come from South Africa where the wickets are pretty green and juicy, and so from a personal point of view, I don't really shy away from that, and I know our batters that we have in our group don't shy away from that either. But yeah, it should be interesting. I don't know if the sun that's been baking on the wicket might change the colour a little bit. But in saying that, our practice wickets have also been pretty green, but they've been pretty nice in fair. Good competition between bat and ball. Ball nips around a little bit, which is okay. So yeah, again, can't wait to get going.
You've had guys like JP Duminy and Ravuma in the last series. He was very gritty and played some key innings. You say go above and beyond. In your batting order, who do you see that might announce themselves on this tour in the way that JP did in that first one that you won in this streak of 3?
Yeah, he did it in 2008 though, so that's quite a long time ago. But I think all the batters have to stand up. I mean, that's been a bit of a talking point that's been surrounding our batting units of late, and again, I've never shied away from that. It's time for the guys to rise up. It's time for myself personally to really put my hand up and make a massive call and make a massive play for us. But in saying that, we've got a really talented group. They're just a little bit inexperienced when it comes to Test cricket, but that's okay. They don't have a lot of baggage again coming into the series. They, again, massively talented. They just need to take the opportunities when they come their way.
Given that you've got an imposing, a really imposing pace attack, and with what you've set out there on the pitch, do you have any temptation to, if you win the toss, to make the most of it with your fast bowling attack?
You're going to have to wait and see tomorrow. Hopefully I'll win the toss, and yeah, then you'll see what happens.
There's a big smile on your face that suggests maybe yes.
Well, you can read into it whichever way you want to read into it. I'm not going to give anything away. But yeah, I think with regards to our bowling is our strength, and I'd rather be facing them in the nets than in the game. So there is temptation, no doubt, but I think generally in Australia you want to bat first. Runs on the board is massive. But yeah, I'm not going to make a decision just yet. We've still got so much turnaround time until the test to make those final calls.
Every time you hear the word...
Sorry,
Go, Mal. Speaking of giving anything away, final decisions, have you settled on an 11 yet?
Yeah, now we have 11, and again, I've always been kind of true to the squad. You'll see that on game day. I'm not the kind of captain that would give that away a day before the game. Again, true to the squad. That's just how we roll, and we've been doing that for years, and I'm not going to change it because of a series against Australia. So I'm still sticking to what we've been doing in the past.
Yeah, and just on that though, what are the things that you've been considering when it comes to balance? What kind of questions?
Look, our strength is our bowlers, no doubt. So you got to give your bowlers the resources to obviously take 20 test wickets, which is not an easy feat. It's hard work. I'm a pro full fast bowlers with the spinner. Kesh has been an amazing asset for our squad and our team. I think when he's obviously played, we've had really good success. So I think the balance is maybe the 6 and 5 option. But also the 7 and 4 is not off the table. Again, I'm not going to give you guys anything, but yeah, I think what helps us out from balance point of view is obviously having that extra spinner, or having the spinner, and obviously the all-rounder aspect, which is big. And we've got to use our big fast bowlers as well. That's been one of our catalysts for us being in the position that we are at the moment.
Every time you hear the word sandpaper gate, do you think? I carried my bat for 143 in that test match, by the way. And on a serious note, you scored 200s against Australia, and they are really largely all the rest of the batters have got to look up to. Do you carry that weight on your shoulders?
I always carry the weight of scoring runs. I am the senior batter. With my external pressures of being a captain, I've got to score runs for the team. Very much aware of that. But thank you for mentioning that, because that also happened in the sandpaper gate. But anyways, that's history. But yeah, the weight and the burden is always on my shoulders. I am the senior statesman when it comes to the batting. I've got to lead from the front. I am the captain. It's always something that I thrive on. I think actually brings the best out of me when I have that responsibility. So yeah, I think it's just the pressures of what it takes to be a test cricketer. Everyone has those pressures. I just like to take the responsibility a little bit further.
Just following on from the deal there with the hundreds that you mentioned, particularly in Cape Town, it's a very similar attack to what you'll see out there tomorrow. What lessons will you take from facing those guys there into tomorrow?
Yeah, you're making me think back now. I actually can't even remember the bowling attack then. It's been a blur. But I know the Aussie attack is always one that you have to compete hard with. I know if you implement yourself as a batting unit, you can actually get through the tough times. There's going to be a lot of tough times, don't get me wrong. But you have to really knuckle down and grind out. Irrespective of what the conditions have in front of us, as a batting unit you have to implement your basics and you've got to knuckle down. So yeah, the bowling unit they put out is always going to be something that's going to keep you busy. So yeah, it's always a exciting prospect facing the Aussie attack. Facing any test attack is always an exciting opportunity. But yeah, what happened in 2018, the bowling attack that they had was also a very competitive bowling attack, no doubt. But I think at the moment they're a little bit more established from a bowling point of view. Got to be mindful and respectful around that. But yeah, we know if we implement our things, we can get through it.
So 2018 was a really ugly tour.
Really? I thought it was great.
You batted beautifully, but in terms of behaviour, it was really ugly. What are you expecting this time around?
Hopefully none of the above, eh? The history and tradition with South African cricket, Australian cricket is so rich, and I've seen a few videos of late which you actually go back and you pinch yourself thinking like, we've got an amazing opportunity now. Hopefully it's played in a good spirit. I know there's always there will be moments, no doubt, where there's going to be a few feisty encounters, no doubt, and hopefully it doesn't reach a stage that we experienced in 2018.
So have you guys talked about that?
No, not at all.
It's just an expectation within the team.
I think what's happened in the past has happened. I've mentioned this before. There's no grudges to what has happened. But we know we want to win. They want to win. There's always going to be a moment where, egos and the heat of the moment gets to the guys. But I think it will be better controlled this time around.
I was just going to say on that, like, you don't have to, do you feel like go out there, given the history in the past, you don't have to say anything. Do you just feel like mentally, in a way, you do have some kind of hold on the Australian team, given the history?
That's a interesting question, because you can always go with the psychology with it. I'm not a leader that's going to go into that. I think it's unfair. I think what's happened in the past is the past, and let's just leave it at that. I really want to play a bloody good test series. I'm sure they also want to play a good test series, but hopefully not as good as us. So no, I don't think there's a hold on it. I think what's happened in the past is done. If they've got added issues with regards to that, then that's their thing. But with regards to my team, we haven't spoken about it once. It's history for us, and yeah, hopefully we can have a really well competed test series going forward.
Cool. We're going to go last couple of questions. We'll start with Anne.
The one member of the Aussie attack was in the team last time is Scott Boland, who's had a tremendous start to his test career. Have you put any extra time into looking at what's made him successful early on and how you might combat that? We've
watched a few videos, don't get me wrong. We definitely do our analysis from a batting point of view. But yeah, he's obviously had some really good success of late. Mindful and respectful around that. I mean, he's playing for Australia, so he must be a pretty good bowler. But I think we're trying to focus on what we can focus on. Like I've said, we've seen videos and we've done what we can do. But for me, it's about focusing on what we can focus on, and that's ultimately putting the batters and the players in the best space that we can. So we do our work, and we don't overdo it. We overdo our training and the focus that we can focus on. But yeah, he's been a handful, don't get me wrong, and yeah, looking forward to the contest, no doubt.
Just on the 6 and 5. Oh, sorry. No, you go.
Dean, you held the trophy before. It doesn't have a name. Do you have any thought on what it should be called? Should it have a name? So, between two great countries.
Yeah, there should be a name, I guess. I guess obviously what tells you in the past of what series has happened is always like two former players that's been rich in South African and Australian history. But I'm not going to name the thing. I mean, it's a trophy and we're all playing for the thing bloody hard. So yeah, I guess maybe they can come up with something. I really hope it's going to be something that lasts for longevity, and there's a history and legacy behind it.
At the end of the England series, it was obviously you were disappointed when you were talking to us then, and you basically said we've got to go back to South Africa and find status. So having gone through that process, I was just wondering the process you went through to find the ones that you've got now, and how happy you are with the group you've got now.
I'm happy with the group we have now. Obviously you have to go back home, debate about it. We have selectors for a reason. I ultimately don't put the guys in the squad. Selectors are there for a reason, so all I can do is give them feedback and hope they make the right decisions, and I think they've done the right decision so far. So yeah, pretty confident going forward.
Just on the 6 and 5, Dean, if Jansen batted 7, have you got faith in him that he can be an all-rounder that can hold up that position, and why?
No doubt. I think I see a lot more than what the media and the public see. He's someone that's really won his test matches in the past. With a bat, I can just refer back to Lords, where he really put up his hand and put in a massive performance in with regards to the bat. He's still so raw when it comes to Test cricket, and it's pretty exciting for us. But yeah, he's still a young player, and he's immensely inexperienced when it comes to the Test level. But his talent it's huge. That's why I say I see a lot more than what the other people see. But yeah, he's definitely an all-rounder for us in the future, and I reckon if he does everything well, he's going to be all-rounder for the next 10 years for us, and very confident with his ability.